Rawr!
Ew.
Hello and welcome to Midnight Readings. Today we'll be reading Between Life and Friendship, written by Draconequus. I believe we've had this author before. I'd have to double check, but yeah, this seems to be an intriguing one. And as always, here are our amazing Patreons. If you'd like to join, there is a link in the description. And there are even some very nice rewards if you do so. Now, shall we get to it? The sudden blackness enveloped Pinkie Pie as the pain in her tummy disappeared. There was nothing, and everything at the same time. Pinkie could feel something being wrong. She could feel her friends being infinitely far away from her, but at the same time they were close. The sugary taste still lingered in her mouth. The remains of the cake left her throat like the world around her. There was nothing. Literally. Even Pinkie, who stood in the middle of it, wasn't there. Not fully, anyway. She was on a very thin edge, balancing between two impossible realms. The edge no one ever wants to be on. The edge everyone is scared of. The edge that is inevitable.
Hello, Pinkie.
A monstrous voice thundered through the void, ringing in Pinkie's ears, forcing her to close them with her hooves. She could feel the blood flowing from them, but when she touched it, there was nothing. In fact, she could barely feel her own hooves. She coughed as she felt something not allowing her to breathe.
"Where am I? What's going on?"
she said, as the horrible realization already hit her mind. She knew what this place was, but she couldn't believe it. The skeleton pony in front of her answered.
Light and darkness, day and night, life and death. There's always something between them, and you were unlucky to get caught between. At least for now. Your body is barely alive, but your mind is on the verge of collapse.
They confirmed her worst concerns.
Huh. Never imagined I'd go out like this, eating my favorite dessert in the company of my friends.
The skeleton pony raised their eyebrow.
You're not out yet. All of you who get here are fated to crawl on one of two sides. You're lucky if you have your friends around.
Pinkie lowered her head. Her mind was nothing but a storm of emotions. She saw her hooves trembling, but she didn't feel them trembling. She sighed and put a smile on her face.
"So, how is it on the other side?"
she asked her new acquaintance. They looked back at her. Eyes squinted, pointed into a corner of an eye socket.
I don't know. I can't remember anything.
"What do you mean? You had a life, right? Someone to look after? Somewhere to return to from your job? A way to spend time? Have fun with your friends?"
Fun? Sorry. But I don't know much about your world. I don't know much at all. Only this place.
Pinkie gasped, filled with enthusiasm. Didn't matter to her that her life was like a hair balancing on a needle. She knew she had to help that poor creature.
Okay. Can you turn around for your new friend, please?"
The creature shrugged and turned. They didn't have much to do anyway. The weird sounds of balloons rubbing against balloons sounded around the void, as Pinkie folded them into weird shapes. The skeleton's ears perked. Their heads slowly began to turn around, but they hesitated. They finally realized that they had a friend. Someone who asked them something. They stopped and fixed their eyes on the black emptiness. Their heart filled with a slight warmth, and that place made everything impossible. But perhaps a smidge of Pinkie Pie can make even a skeleton happy.
And done. You may turn around now.
Pinkie happily exclaimed. Her voice filled everything with fun. All the worry, sadness, all the care in the world couldn't take that moment away from her. Like that one time on her first party, she was at peak of her happiness. The true fun. The first fun. Slowly the skeleton turned. Their eyes were full of anticipation as their muzzles showed something similar to a smile. They were almost tapping their hoof. They were almost happy. Pinky smiled back, her contagious grin jumping to her new friend and turning their semblance of a smirk into the best smile Pinky ever saw. She was about to give them that balloon she so painstakingly made, one of the most complicated balloons ever. But something was wrong. Pinky could feel it. She could feel herself again. She could feel the pain in her stomach, feeling of something in her throat and wetness of her tears, the artificial brightness hitting her eyes. She began to fade away. The smile disappeared from the face of the skeleton, and a worrying frown took its place.
You're leaving so soon.
Everything began leaving them as Pinky's fluffy mane turned into a hanging willow. Peace that ignited the spirit of the skeleton was leaving her. Skeleton sighed as Pinky became more transparent. They turned around feeling nothing but emptiness in their heart. Only one thing about them was possible. A tear rolling down their bones.
No!
The sudden scream filled with determination thundered. Skeleton quickly turned to the source of it, expecting a new arrival. But all they saw was the transparent body of Pinky becoming more visible. Their eyes were full of concern and confusion.
What are you doing?
It's my friend's first party and I can't leave now!
She said as she finally gave the balloon to them. The most pink balloon there ever was. The most impossible thing in the possible void.
Is it you and me?
Skeleton said, confused, tears rolling down. Pinky exhaled.
Please don't forget what fun is. Don't forget what friendship is.
Her body became opaque. She felt excruciating pain coming from her heart. She plunged her hooves into her mane, and with them a cake came out.
I don't know what skeleton ponies love to eat, but I have my favorite cake with everything frosting.
She barely managed to say through the pain before a heartbreaking scream came from her mouth.
Ah!
The cake fell as her body disappeared, but the skeleton pony managed to catch it. The final tear came out of their eye socket as they began mourning their first friend. Aww. This is so Pinky. This is so Pinky. I love it. That was Between Life and Friendship, written by Draconicus. I hope you all enjoyed and keep watching that moon. Bye!